third game in the stepladder final. We're still going with seeding. So Jo Cundy, who will start this match, the third seed, defeating Brian Voss, the fourth seed in the last match out. Now she meets Mike Quarry, the second seed, and awaiting the winner of this match in the final for that £3,500 winner's cheque. And the Triple Eight English Open title is Steve Thornton. So it's going to be an all-England final, one way or the other, as these two England internationals go head-to-head in game 3, and Cundy opens up with a very tidy strike.
Head-to-head game, just 10 frames. Brings up our first sight of big Mike Quarry, a man from Berkshire. Huge power player out on the tour, and he too rips the rack.
Wow, how quickly did that bowling ball get to the pocket? My goodness me.
It was certainly quite quick, Simon, and it did an awful lot of damage when it got into the 1-3 pocket. Fantastic amount of leverage that Mike can get on that bowling ball.
It's a wrecking ball, a one-man wrecking ball, but can he find his strike line? Nicely done. Well, we hear from Andy James, one of the other tournament
outside. That's where Mike's throwing it today.
As you can see, Jo a long way right on that approach, trying to spear it into the pocket. On that occasion, didn't get what she wanted, but I think she looks a little more fluent than she did against Brian Voss. She really is swinging that arm nicely.
Well, she's loosened up with that first victory, and what a scalp to take in the shape of Brian Voss. Yeah, very relaxed. Hasn't obviously got the power on the ball that Mike Quarry has.
Well, it's a pretty straightforward demand. Both players will be looking to set up a run of strikes to outscore the opponent. And all of that will be happening while they're trying to read how this lane is changing. So strike, spare, strike. That's the start for Jo. 280 maximum available. But remember, 8-pin bonus, so you can convert that to 288.
Well, I said she's got to bowl a high game, Simon, but whether she's going to go in a row. And what would he like to give for another one now? Just sheer unbridled power. Oh, and everything jumps around that 7-pin, doesn't it? It was just a fraction light in the pocket.
Classic new style of player, a real cranker. Here's Mike Quarry. Actually cites Big Wes Malott as one of his favourite players out on the PBA tour, and there are some similarities, Cass.
Big Wes, the big nasty. Well, yeah, one of our favourites as well on the PBA tour, Simon. Yeah, their build is very similar. Both about 6'6", 6'7", and built like brick outhouses, shall we say.
Strikes in a row. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Mike Quarry next time he comes to the line. And that'll do nicely. There's a starter.
Yes, 3 strikes out of 4 frames. That will settle Jo down nicely. And interestingly, Simon, have a look where Jo's sliding foot is finished up there. It's very much to the right-hand side of the centre line. And by comparison, you'll see where Big Mike, where his sliding foot will end up. Quite a difference.
Bowling from. Both she and Brian Voss deciding that just going wide and throwing it hard and straight into that pocket is the way to go. She gets those 3 strikes that she was looking for, a turkey, and pressure very much on her. Where are we going to see Mike Quarry's feet go here?
Well, his sliding foot will be to the left-hand side of the centre line on the lane, and he's going to be throwing the ball to the right and bringing it back. It's a real power shot.
Oh, he's going to need that power here, and he gets it. The messenger finally making its way across.
Simon, that just really was a powerful shot. He's going to set himself up for another one here, if he can.
Oh, that's more convincing. The raw score, but remember, add 8 pins for Jo Cundy's bonus, and that will not help. That's gone loosely through the head pin. Not much in it either, so leaves herself with more work to do for a spare.
Yeah, just after 3 strikes in a row, she's pulled that one left. And as you saw, went straight to the face of the 3 and a 6 standing, which is a straightforward spare, but she really would have liked to have gone 4 strikes in a row.
Multi-pin spares, you have to think about it. She's done well to take those 2 out. And back in the pocket with success. But it's not what she was looking for. Could have been 5 strikes in a row. Unfortunately, she's broken that run and almost has to start from scratch again.
Yeah, that's very important, Simon. The fact that she had a spare in the middle of a turkey and then a strike afterwards. It's losing pins, unfortunately. That's a much better shot. Although the 7 pin's a little bit lazy, it counts as 10.
2 more strikes here, and he will move into the driving seat. Oh. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at the reaction in that back end.
Well, it was a lazy 5-pin, which Mike really won't want to see, but he did drive it out eventually with a little bit of help. And it does make that 4 strikes in a row. Just watch this. There's the 5-pin standing up, and there's the 5-pin just gone. He'll be very happy with that one.
A little bit of helicopter action on the messenger. Scythes that pin down.
We're going to get a reaction in the back end and hopefully carry all 10.
There it goes, hooking back into the pocket and taking all 10 down again, and this whole game has now changed. Mike Quarry in control.
Yeah, Mike certainly is the boss. 5 strikes in a row and a double to start with. It really is a great looking score sheet, and he hasn't finished yet.
Mike, he's got Steve Thornton in his way if he gets past Joe Cundy here. But Joe, well, that's not going to help her cause, I'm afraid. And the body language tells the story. She knew that that shot was really important.
Under pressure. Let's make the spare just to stay in the game, but she's going backwards, I'm afraid.
Yeah, drops to 248 plus the 8-pin bonus. And as you saw from Mike Quarry's last score sheet, he's on a 279 maximum, so Cundy's in a bit of trouble here.
This is a must-strike situation. Anything else and the game will pretty much be over.
No. And the defending champion bows out.
Yes, unfortunately the last 2 shots straight through the head pin. Couldn't make the strike, and an open frame in the foundation frame.
Quarry does from here. This is Mike's chance to close it out. Yeah, no.
Well, it's all right, Simon. It's a 4-7 pin spare he's left. A spare here, and the game is all over. Just got to make a mark. Stay clean.
In the end, not quite good enough, and it was that string of 5 strikes from Mike Quarry that really put the pressure on and put this game to bed. And there we go. Mike Quarry can start to turn his thoughts now to that final game for the big money, up against his great mate and pro team teammate. Steve has put together a very good game here. That's what you want to see. You want to see 250 plus in the finals. And he's got every chance of doing that. Lovely stuff from Mike Quarry. No arguments from Joe Cundy. She didn't quite match her opponent, but when it was needed, Mike found that run of strikes to do the damage. Quarry turns showman. Oh, doesn't quite deliver there.
Certainly wasn't under any pressure at all, and a spare in the last 2 shots will give Mike a score of 247 and a deserved winner.
A lot of success at world level.
Well, absolutely, Simon. He's a former world doubles silver medalist winner back in 2006 World Championships in Korea. He and teammate Danny Stride picks up the silver medal for Team England. And there are not many of those medals around, but Big Mike's got one.
Well, it's not about the medals, it's about the money here in Nuneaton at the Lakeside Super Bowl in this 888.com English Open. But, well, it's going to be second or better for Quarry up against Thornton.
It's been a very good show. Joe is very popular with everybody in the bowling scene in the UK. And she signs off with a bit of showmanship. 2 strikes in the 10th. You know, she should only get 9.5 for this shot. Just a little tap on the 7-pin and away she goes. Eventually.
Well, some of the crowd have been shouting out, "Come on, Mrs. Cundy," during the course of this match. She's taken it all in there. Right behind her now to give her the send-off she deserves. It is a send-off though, no title defence for Joe Cundy this time around, but it was still a fine effort. She bows out as Mike Quarry heads into the championship winner's check against his great mate, #1 seed Steve Thornton.